I'm in Shenandoah National Park, and this is Buck Hollow Overlook. This is mile marker 32. There's my little red car. Most of the park, well, half the park is closed because they're still trying to clean up from the old ice storm that was like a month ago. Anyway, I'm gonna go back downhill here around this bend and look for an old abandoned trail that goes along the ridge line there. That's Skinner Ridge, and then down the side of the mountain a ways. The old maps indicate that it was a fire road, so I'm going to go around here and see if I can find it. It's abandoned now, but it might be interesting to see how far down we can follow it. The elevation here is 2680. Tenth of a mile into my hike, I think I'm at my jumping off point here. Buck Hollow overlooks up that way. So I hike down here and around the bend. For what it's worth, right there where there's a gap in the wall, looks like you might be able to pull over and park right there. But anyway, I'm right here at this midway through this turn, and this looks like the ridge line right here. So I'm at my waypoint 1. I'm gonna dial up my waypoint 1-5 and we'll see if I can find that. Four-tenths of a mile into my hike. The elevation here is 2480. I just hiked a little. I've hiked a little ways past my 1-5 waypoint. I'm on the ridge line here, but it's been, this is where I came from. It's been extremely difficult hiking because of all this mountain laurel. Actually, the mountain laurel right here is not too bad, but it's been extremely thick. That pine tree you see back there, big pine tree, that's also up on the ridge line heading back. And believe it or not, I can see my car up there. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. There's my car. Well, it won't, there's too many trees in the way, it won't focus. But there's my car up there, Buck Hollow Overlook. So I may push on just a little bit further, but when I get up here to the top of this rise, it should start dropping down. I'm going to kind of survey the area. If it's this much mountain laurel all the way down, I'm not really interested in trying to push my way through that, because it grows so thick that you can't hardly even get through it. So let me get up. I'm going to go up there to that top of that rise there and see what I can find. I can tell either on the trail or close to it, because see that right there? That's wear and tear on that blown down tree from people walking over it. So, and it's a little bit of a trail there, maybe you can see it, but it's not much. I thought it's not, definitely no trace of a road left up here. A fire road, forget it. It's long gone. So I'm going to go up here probably, and then I'll make a go no go for the rest of the hike up here. But if it looks really the same as this, I may just turn around and cancel this hike. .5 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 2480, and that's where I came from. And I think I've made a decision that I'm just gonna turn around and head back, because I've pushed through a ½ mile of this mountain laurel, which is really hard to do, and I don't see any sign of it letting up. So I think I'm just gonna, actually this is a little bit of a cleared area right here. Kind of interesting. So there's a big tree that's blown down here. It could be the shade from that tree might have been keeping the mountain laurel from growing so much. But anyway, Skyline Drive is back that way. So I think I'm going to head back because I had to push through a half a mile to get out here. I got to push through the same half mile to get back unless I can find an easier way. And once you get off this ridge line, this mountain's super steep. So I'm going to go over here and take a look and see if I see, maybe if I walk along the slightly below the ridge line, I can sidestep some of this, but I'm not holding out a lot of hope for that. I'm out of breath. 0.87 miles into my hike. I'm up to 2650. That's the wall for Skyline Drive right there. I'm back to Skyline Drive. My car's just up that way a little bit. And now that I'm actually back, I was a little below this coming up and I noticed this is actually the road right here. There's the left side and there's the right side. Heading down there. So yeah, there actually was a road that came up here. I just didn't find it. What I ended up following was just some foot trails that other people have created. So, but that's the end of this hike. I don't feel like pushing through any more of that mountain laurel. So I may post a short video just to let people know that this is not exactly hiker friendly through here. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Thornton Gap, 1994. And the purpose of the hike was to hike from Skyline Drive down Skinner Ridge. There's an old abandoned road there. This hike was cut short because, as you'll see in a second, I just couldn't push my way through the extremely thick mountain laurel. This is where I parked right here at Buck Hollow Overlook, and I highlighted in green the old road that went down Skinner Ridge, and it ends up all the way down here at US 211. So I parked here and walked down Skyline Drive to here and then jumped off and I had a hard time finding the old road. I ended up following foot trails, and from here, this is as far as I got, was right there, which is about maybe a half a mile down the trail. And it was just extremely overgrown with mountain laurel. And a lot of times when you find really dense mountain laurel like that, if you push through it a few hundred yards, you'll come out the other end. But this, just as far as I could see, was just nothing but mountain laurel. So I decided that was just going to be too hard, because wherever I go, I've got to turn around and come back the other way. So I turned around and came back to my car there. So this ended up being a real short hike, 1 mile. and 285 feet of ascent. I almost didn't post this, but then I thought, well, knowing not to go somewhere is just as important as knowing where to go. So I don't think it's worth attempting to hike down this thing from the top here. It might be worth coming down here at the bottom and trying to hike up this way, but you're going to get up to a certain point where you're going to hit the mountain laurel, and then you're going to have to turn around and go back, even if you start at the bottom. So I would look somewhere else to hike. And that's the hike for today.